Hey fragrance friends, Eugene here. I want to thank you guys for joining me in my journey with Tom Ford's Tobacco Oud from the Private Blend collection. Now, I vividly remember wearing this the first time. I was at the mall with my wife right after I sprayed this, and I was going up the escalator, smelling myself and thinking, what the hell smells like shit, not realizing it was coming from this until a little later. At the same time, my wife, a different opinion, asked me what I sprayed because she thought it smelled amazing. 2 years later, this is finally in my collection. I'm ecstatic as I absolutely adore this fragrance, and I think it's one of the best to come out of the house of Tom Ford. Now, saying all that, this fragrance is oftentimes compared to two other fragrances from Tom Ford, one being Amber Absolute and the other Sahara Noir. Amber Absolute is discontinued, very hard to find. I've never smelled either of those fragrances, so I can't comment. Tom Ford, a lot of experience with the Oud note. With his early days with YSL, he released M7, an Oud-based fragrance. And again, in 2007, he released Oud Wood in his Private Blend collection. This fragrance does remind me of something else, and that would be from the Dior Private Collection. That would be the Leather Oud, not so much in the way they smell, but sort of in the artistic parallel qualities of these two fragrances. They share kind of the same notes, some of the same accords, both very spicy, sweet, fecal, just one being a leather-based fragrance and the other being tobacco. I sort of feel like the perfumer here took Leather Oud and used it as a blueprint to create this, but just something I feel might not be true, but it is something to think about. Now, I'll break this fragrance down for you guys. This was created in 2013. The perfumer, Oliver Gilliton, also the perfumer for Tobacco Vanille. This is considered a woody oriental, and the classification is eau de parfum. Some of the notes in this are oud, tobacco dust absolute, coriander, cistus, labdanum, cedarwood, patchouli, sandalwood, roasted tonka bean, and castoreum. The accords: tobacco, warm spicy, whiskey, sweet, and oud. So, what do I get with this fragrance when I spray it on? What don't I get? I feel like the whole world is in this bottle. You have everything. This fragrance to me opens up very spicy, very rich, very dense, very pungent. The first thing I smell is that spicy tobacco. It's very rich and it has a hay-like feel to it. Very dry. Shortly after in comes the oud. Very resinous, very skanky and fecal. Very woody. That skank and that fecalness, you're gonna smell it for a good 10 minutes. Within 45 minutes, it's completely gone to me. Shortly after that oud enters, you're gonna get a very sweet and spicy whiskey note that's very well done and is probably one of my favorite notes in this fragrance. Now, in the heart of this fragrance, you're gonna get a very loud hint of incense, almost like feeling like you're in a church, very dry, and you're going to get a sense of dusty books. Again, another feeling of being in church. Also in the heart, to join that incense, you're going to get a sweet note of honey and a lot of honey to go with those ambers. In the base of this fragrance, I get a very warm vanilla. The vanilla, to me, comes off almost like a burnt caramel style vanilla, along with some more ambers and some benzoins. This is a very heavy based amber fragrance, and sorry, no review of this fragrance would be complete without mentioning how dry this fragrance is. And every time I've worn this fragrance, I always got this feeling of herbs, or it was a very herbaceous feeling fragrance. But I haven't come across any reviews that mention herbs, so I just sort of left it out there. But the whole time it was behind in the back of my head until I read something about The inspiration for the tobacco note of this came from the plant doka, which was something smoked 5 centuries ago when there's a ban on smoking. So the doka plant was something that was very herbaceous. It was floral. It was sweet, and it resembled the sweet tobacco. So it all made sense to me once I read that, because there is a very dry, herbaceous feel to this, along with all those ambers. Now, when I wear this fragrance, I feel almost like I've been taken back in time 50 years, and I'm sitting in a men's smoking lounge or a smoking club. I'm sitting in a luxurious, fine, rich leather chair with other gentlemen, very well dressed, very rich, very classy. We're playing cards, we're sipping on fine whiskey, we're betting on horses, and we're just being served drinks and food and cigars. So it's got this old world vibe to it, like I said, with a modern twist. Very well done. Probably one of my favorite fragrances to come out of this house. Now, the performance of this fragrance, I like to wear my fragrances pretty heavy, so I need to go about 6 to 8 sprays to get the desired effect. The sprayer is quite small on these, so with 6 to 8 sprays, I will get about 10 to 12 hours, which for me is more than enough. I'm going to smell myself all day long consistently. This fragrance is always changing on me and is always working, so it is something that I truly do enjoy. You guys can see the presentation of this. It's all pretty much gray to complement the other oud fragrances in the private blend, Oud Wood and Oud Fleur. So that is something that Tom Ford has decided to do with his bottles, his oud collection. They're all gray, opposed to the typical brown bottles. Who is this fragrance for? This isn't for everybody. This is for people that do respect challenging fragrances. This is for a special occasion. I do find myself wearing this to work very often. I'm quite comfortable wearing this. By the time I get to work, that fecal note is gone, so it's not something that I really am concerned about. So yeah, this is just something that I truly do cherish. I love wearing it. I love the way I smell when I'm wearing this. So, you know, just really not much more to say than check out Tobacco Oud, guys. It's been a pleasure. If you stick around, you're going to get a first impression by a good friend and another reviewer you can find here on YouTube. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Hey guys, here with
Chad.
also known as the Everyday Man. If you're a follower of my channel, chances are you subscribe to Chad as well. So today I'm going to get Chad's thoughts and opinions on Tobacco Oud. Although we all know he's not an Oud fan, so you pretty much know where this is going to go right away.
Pretty much. In the opening, I detected the whiskey. Well, if there is whiskey, like some sort of alcohol. But it turned to skank right away. I watched my friend Rio Cappuccino's review on this, and he's absolutely right. This is nasty. It smells like ass and
I love it.
crap.
Well, so is it skank like skank or is it caca? Because to me, when I first smelled it, it smelled like caca.
Shit.
Shit, yeah.
So you could bleep out the shit remark. You know, you may be PG, I'm not. But this is definitely something that I would not recommend. Personally, this would be the perfect anti-repellent for cuddling. So if I want to get out of cuddling duties with Neela, I would wear this. But at the same time, I would be doing myself a disservice by wearing this because, in all honesty, it's not for me. I don't like it. I smell like manure, ass, and I'm not trying to badmouth the fragrance, but I don't like dirty, skanky sort of fragrances. That's just not me. Somebody who likes the art of perfumery may like this one. I absolutely do not. Like, I do like Tom Ford, but this, I don't know what Mr. Ford was thinking. I'm sorry. It's offensive, and I find that most everyday people, the everyday man, the everyday woman, will not like this. Someone who does like perfumery and the art of it will definitely like it. Other than that, I don't see anybody really liking it. And I hate to say, I detest it. It's nasty, it's gross, and I'm gonna have to wash this off. Thanks to Eugene.
Yeah, I agree. This is not for the everyday man. This is for somebody looking for something different. It is very challenging. It was challenging for me when I first tried it, but now I adore it. And I stand strong in my belief in saying this is the best fragrance from the house of Tom Ford.
Wow.
Now, Chad, I want to thank you so much for coming on to my channel. Is there anything? You know what? Chad, the busiest guy on Frank Tom, just came back from New York. Did a whole great segment. Is there anything you'd like to tell us about your trip to New York?
Loved it. I think the highlight of the trip was meeting Al, Freddie, and Rio. So it definitely bonded quite well with Freddie Photo One, and definitely I'd say he's a friend for life. So I did a spotlight video on Rio. I may even do one on you. I might have.
So what can we expect from the Everyday Man channel?
Well, so that's pretty much it.
Awesome. All right, Chad, thanks so much.
Thanks, buddy.
We'll cut this short. Thanks, guys.